Hello, it's Mystic John Paranormal, and today's thought of the day. Today's thought of the day is actually thinking, thoughts. Exactly. Have you ever thought about how one thought could change the world for good or for bad or for the ugly? Someone thought about World War One, and that thought, well, look where that got us. So, yeah, we have good thoughts, we have bad thoughts. How are we going to get these assessed? How are we going to make sure that what we are thinking isn't for the bad and the harm of the world and the bad and harm of ourselves? And that's what we're going to look at. There are various techniques for trying to gather positive thoughts, such as affirmations and mindfulness and meditation. And for me, I think meditation is a good way of doing it. Meditate, bring that mental energy down. It's so much harder to think of nasty, horrible thoughts that may bring down the world when you're in a mindfulness situation, a meditative situation, because your brain is so nice and gentle and calm. It can work things out with a little bit more conciseness. So we need to be able to meditate and bring those calm thoughts in around us and hug ourselves during the development of those thoughts, and make sure those thoughts are very, very important for today, for yourself, for the people around you, for the environment around you, and make sure that they're not going to harm yourself or other people or the environment around you. The problem, of course, here is that it's very easy to have a thought or something to happen right in front of your eyes, and all of a sudden you lose that mindfulness, you lose the meditative state, and you start panicking, or you start bringing out something from nothing, and all of a sudden you start in that spiral of making things worse and worse, overthinking things, and it's so easy to get into that situation. So we need to be able to stop ourselves and know that we're actually getting into that situation where we're overthinking, or we're starting to develop things in totally the wrong direction. So we've already said mindfulness and meditation can help us develop ideas and thoughts gently, and good thoughts as well. What happens if we start to see things happening in our environment, or said towards, or even in our own heads, that suddenly start bringing in the question of what if? What if? Well, one of the things is, if you, and I've done it myself, if you start thinking these things, you're on the edge of a very deep and dark spiral where you're going to start thinking things that you really shouldn't be thinking. How do we stop that? Well, we've got to be able to think, what can we change? Is this quite often when you look at these things that we start spiraling into depression about? We can't change them. There's no point in worrying about something that we can't change. Let's change the things we can change. Let's do things for the positive that we can alter around us, and then hopefully we can try and make those bad things meaningless, in the fact that we're not overthinking them, and we're not trying to throw thoughts away into this big deep hole that we know that we can't make anything, we can't do anything about. If we can't do anything about it, then leave it alone. Try and alter the things around that situation, and hopefully we can develop the situations around it to make us a little bit more in control of whatever that situation is. Don't overthink things, and if it can't be changed and it can't be altered, please don't try and get yourself into a panic and get yourself depressed over it. It's not worth it. Obviously, one more thing about that: if you really can't do anything about it because you can't, there's nothing you can think that would help, go to friends, ask for help, ask for a few thoughts from other people, grab other people's thoughts. That's a thought, isn't it? Get other people's thoughts. Don't try and fill something in that can't be filled. If you can't do it, and you can't think of altering the thoughts around it, then the situation may be helped by asking someone else for their thought. So have you ever thought of something and decided that we can't do anything about it, and then carried on plugging away trying to solve it, and it just never did? Please put a comment in the box and give me a like and subscribe. I'd love to hear your feedback. Or have you ever thought, well, this is a really good thought and I'm going to really deal with that today. This is today's thought. I'm going to go for it, and it's turned out really well. Or indeed, have you thought about something that you shouldn't be thinking about, and it's just spiraled into depression, and then you've looked back later and thought, I should have just asked such and such in the first place, or why didn't I alter everything around it that was causing this, the actual cause of this situation? I could have easily solved that without worrying about the actual thing that had gone wrong in the first place. If you have, please put it down in the comments. I'd love to know. This is Mystic John, Paranormal, over and out for one more thought of the day, this time in person. Please like and subscribe and share. Please do, and I'll see you again with another thought of the day. Like and subscribe.